Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of Golf Center. I'm PGA professional Chris Tremblay along with PGA professional Pete Popovich. Thank you so much for joining me this week,
Always a
Pete.
pleasure.
We have a full slate this week, a lot of headlines, and who are our guests this week?
We've got Matt Cuccaro from the Junior Sports Corporation and the Hank Haney IJGA. We've got Brad Marra from Palmetto Dunes and Celebrity Golf Tournament, and then we have the chairman of the Celebrity Golf Tournament, Mr. Paul Smith.
Celebrity Golf Tournament coming up Labor Day weekend. A lot of excitement there. We're going to get to that just a bit, but first our headlines. The Junior Player Golf Academy would like to congratulate Ewan Ferguson, one of our students who just won last weekend the British Junior Amateur Championship, the equivalent over in Europe of the USGA Junior here. Really a great thing for us. He won it at Royal Liverpool. Everybody at the Junior Players Golf Academy is so proud of Ewan. It jumps him in the world rankings from 150 to 29. It looks like he's got some busy hair going on there, but he looks like a happy person after winning that.
Just rolled out of bed, but great for you guys and a tribute to your teaching ability.
Well, it's certainly, it's been a team effort amongst all of our instructors, and we're very, very pleased for Ewan, and we look forward to having him back in October. Ewan spends the summers with the Scottish Golf Federation, then he comes back over and spends the winters with us. He was the Hurricane Junior Golf Tour Player of the Year last year, and some past winners of the Junior British Amateur, just so you know, Sergio Garcia, Jose Maria Lotheball, and the winner of the U.S. Amateur last weekend, Matthew Fitzpatrick, won it last year. So good things are probably in the future more for Ewing as we move on.
Well, buy that stock now while you can still get it for cheap.
Buy that stock now while you can still get it for cheap, absolutely. We also have some great local news for Todd Smith, local amateur who was just named to the Walker Cup team being played next weekend. That's good stuff, huh, Pete?
Yeah, I know. Local amateurs and cover a golf week not too long ago. Just a great player, great addition to the community, and just shows how high the level of amateur golf and golf in general is for our area.
Well, we found that this summer, that the amateur golf in the Low Country between the South Carolina Open, the Hilton Head Island Open, and the other events we've had, how well the amateurs have performed, and Todd is certainly no exception to the rule. We're very excited for him. New rule this year for the Walker Cup, they need to have two what they call mid-ams on each team. So Todd and Nathan Green, who is a four-time U.S. mid-amateur champ, he's on the team also. Joining them, we have a threesome from the University of Alabama, the NCAA championship team, Bobby Wyatt, Justin Thomas, and Corey Whitsett. From California, you have their strongholds of Max Homa, Michael Weaver, and Michael Kim. Like I said, Nathan Smith, and then you also have Patrick Rogers from Stanford, and you have Jordan Newbruge from Oklahoma State. So needless to say, they've really got a strong team.
Heck of a team. They're
playing up at the National Golf Links on Long Island. Like I said, it's in September, and it should be very, very exciting stuff. It's a two-day event, unlike the Solheim Cup and the Ryder Cup that are three, so make sure if you get a chance to watch Todd, you get to watch him play a little golf. Moving along, we're going to go to the PGA Tour. Patrick Reed gets his first victory on the PGA Tour with wife on the bag. Justine was there to help him out, and what can you say? He beat another one of our really great young talents here in the States, Jordan Spieth.
It just shows the talent level on the PGA Tour, that the new crop of young guns, how good they are, that they're winning already at such a young age. And Patrick Reed, a great story. He Monday qualified his way into the PGA Tour last year, got through Q School, the last Q School that they're going to have, and then go ahead and he wins this year in his first 4 years. Remember, that's really phenomenal stuff.
And funny enough, I got to watch him a little bit at Harbortown this year. For some reason, I just happened to follow him around for a few holes. Strong player. Real strong iron player, really can, compresses the ball, hits it hard. And if you saw in the playoff there with Jordan, he got up there on, I believe, was their second playoff hole. Hit the ball to the right, hit a tree, and probably saved it from going out of bounds. And then he was on some pine straw, had to hit it under a branch, hit it up there to about, 8-10 feet?
Probably, he kind of did what Jordan did to the guys at the John Deere. He hit that shot out of the trees, hit it a few feet, and he goes and wins the tournament. So really exciting, good stuff for him.
Yeah, it really was. So we congratulate him. Like we said, Jordan Spieth obviously played very, very well, had another great event, having a great rookie year, probably the favorite for Rookie of the Year this year. And I'm tying for third, Brian Harmon, Savannah product. He got himself a great placing there. And John Ha, another great showing for him. So a lot of the young guys out there really playing well. Once again, it comes to the team competitions. We like to see that because it seems as though we haven't been quite as strong as we'd like to be in some of the team competitions over the last few years. Well, staying on the PGA Tour, let's move to the FedEx Cup because obviously the playoffs start this week. The top 125 have advanced. You always wonder who number 126 was. This year it was Robert Streb, who you don't see a lot of, and that's probably why, but he was unfortunately the one that was right on the bubble that ended up being out. But if you look at some of the other ones who didn't get in, I've got some names here. You've got Peter Hansen. You know, strong was them. 2 years ago was leading the Masters through 3 rounds, a very strong European player. Nicholas Kolsarts, the long-hitting European, did not make the team either.
Both of them Ryder Cup stalwarts, too.
Both of them Ryder Cup stars last time. Bud Colley, the youngster, you would have thought that he probably would have been in there. Unfortunately, he didn't make it.
A little bit of sophomore jinx, maybe. Yeah,
Could be.
So good last year, maybe just a little bit of slide this year.
Great point. Ricky Barnes, kind of hot and cold. It seems like he either comes in second or third in an event or he doesn't make the cut.
That's right. Yeah, and I think Ricky suffered with some physical limitations this year. I think his shoulder, and I do believe that they had a new child. They were infants, so he might be spending some more family time, but it is a surprise that Ricky's not there with the talent level he has.
Yeah, especially with the way he can hit it. I mean, you know, distance is so important out there on tour, and if you've ever seen Ricky Barnes hit it, he doesn't lack for distance.
Big, strong, strapping lad.
Big, strong, strapping lad. I like that. Very nice. Okay, so the way the FedEx Cup works, this week the top 125 are at Liberty National in New Jersey. After this week, it'll be cut down to the top 100. The top 100 will advance to the Deutsche Bank in Boston at the TPC Boston. After that, the low 70 will advance to Chicago, just outside of Chicago, for the BMW Championship. And then finally, the top 30 will advance to the Tour Championship, and that's where the FedEx Cup gets finalized. So we look forward to the next 4 weeks on tour. It certainly should be exciting. Jumping away from the PGA Tour, we're now going to move right over to the Solheim Cup. For the first time in history, the European ladies team have come over to U.S. soil and won. What do you think of what went on this weekend? There were so many different things that went on between some controversial rulings and things. What did you see, Pete?
You know, the girls, they played their heart out. It just seems to be that for some reason the U.S. can't quite do what they need to do, get over that hump and win in these international competitions. And it all comes down to putting. I mean, it always does, no matter how good you hit it, no matter how much you put your heart into it, it always comes down to putting. And again, the Europeans just seem to out-putt us again in another international event. Well,
they come in as an underdog. Actually, a lot of people thought a pretty big underdog. They had 6 rookies on the team, including the 17-year-old Catherine Hull, who ended up going 2-1. And you know, needless to say, when you have a 17-year-old that can come in and play international team competition that well, that bodes well for them for the future.
You know, yeah, and her and the young guys that are winning on the PGA Tour, you know, all these kids are going to schools like the JPGA and other ones around the country or the world, and it just shows that the level they're at such a young age is phenomenal what they can do. They don't care who they're playing against or, you know, what kind of stature a star has. They're going out there single-minded focus, and they're going out there to win.
And they really were focused, too. So congratulations to the ladies' European team and Lieselot Neumann, their captain. We look forward to 2 years from now in Germany when the U.S. goes over and tries to regain the cup. That's all for headlines. When we come back, we're going to talk mental training right after this. You're watching Golf Center on WHHI Sports. Welcome back to Golf Center. We're very joined in this segment to be joined by Matt Cuccaro, the Director of Mental Training over at the International Junior Golf Academy. Matt, tell us what mental training means for the Junior Sports Corporation and how you incorporate it with your students.
Sure. So the overall mission of Junior Sports Corporation and Hank Haney IJGA is to have a positive and transformational impact on young people's lives. So obviously there's the physical component of teaching athletes to play golf, and then also the mental component that isn't so clear that we can always see on a day-to-day basis. So that's my role with our athletes and within the community, is to build greater emotional and mental resilience with our athletes.
And not only from the golf standpoint, but from, you know, from the school standpoint and just their overall social life, correct? I mean, this isn't just golf training necessarily.
Absolutely. We just try to build effective habits that carry through in everything that we do.
Matt, you know that you've got a lot of stuff that you really go over with all the students and all the people. Do you do it by yourself, or do you have a staff of people that help you do all these things and responsibilities?
I'm actually very fortunate this year. Dr. Adam Naylor, who I've known for close to 10 years, he was actually my graduate advisor at Boston University when I studied sports psychology. And he's helping me really create a cleaner, a better environment, and not just in what I do, but also with our coaches, with our house parents, the athletes, and the parents, so that we can really build this thing into just a better community overall.
Now, what are the key elements to a successful mental training program like you have?
Sure. So again, it's Adam and I, and just the two of us, that's not enough. right? It takes an army to really build
Especially
a
with
strong...
as many students as you have, correct?
That's exactly right. So we try to build, the first thing is to make it integrated. So it's not just Adam and I that are speaking the language. It's the coaches, it's the house parents, it's the parents at home who are really trying to help. So integration is huge. Also make it individualized. You know, we're all at a different spot and all have different individual needs and wants. So you can obviously see all of us look different. Well, inside we're also different. So trying to make sure that every athlete gets exactly what they need. And then also just that it's interactive. So I know a lot of people kind of laugh, ha, you know, what do you just sit people down on a couch? And it's not like that, right? We get out on the course and we work with them. We do cool stuff like heart rate monitors, and we actually let them see kind of what the mental and emotional component has to do with performance.
Matt, that's a lot of great information. Are there other people who can benefit from the programs that you utilize, or is it just kids or athletes or so forth?
Great question. I mean, no question. I work with people from Sun City, you know, all the way down to junior athletes, to coaches, to parents, so we also have the IJGT, and they're playing and traveling in events, and so it's endless, honestly, the work that can be done in business, sport, family life, social stuff. It's all helpful.
Matt, can you give us a little example of the difference, you know, you might find from one student, especially the ones that are part of the IJGA, students from one student to the other, and how a program might vary between the students?
Sure. So, I mean, you can tell some of our athletes maybe are a little more uncomfortable, let's say at the beginning of a round. So learning how to kind of get started effectively and be aggressive straight out of the box. Others might have trouble kind of closing out rounds. So it's how to maintain your effort, your energy, and use it at the right times so that you can close out rounds well. So again, we all have our individual stuff, practice, how to practice more effectively. Some people enjoy that, some people don't. So it's really trying to identify those gaps and help people fill those gaps so that they can be more effective throughout.
Last question I'm going to throw at you as far as the mental training goes, okay? If you had to give one piece of advice that's going to kind of encompass all of us, what would it be?
Wow, that's a good one.
I know, I kind of threw you under the bus there, but we'll give you a chance.
I guess the main component that we're really trying to fulfill this year, and we're actually going to have all of our athletes have a bracelet this year that just says, "Challenge me." And that mindset is what helps people grow and get past their stuff. So people who are just content, it tends to get lazy and stale. So challenging and challenge me it's a way to stretch our limits, and that's the only way we get better. So yes, challenge is uncomfortable. It's also kind of exciting, and it focuses us. So we're really just highlighting the importance of that, of stretching boundaries, and challenge is a huge part to just becoming better in anything in life.
Matt, if someone wants to get in touch with you, how can they do that?
Great, so obviously the IJGA.com, just go to our website, or my Twitter handle is @mentalcoachmatt. So that's another way that people can get in touch with me.
Matt Cuccaro from the International Junior Golf Academy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
When we come back, we're going to talk celebrity golf tournament right after this. Welcome back to Golf Center. We have a lot of big tournaments here in the Low Country, Pete, and there's no exception when it comes to the Celebrity Golf Weekend coming up August 30th, the 31st, and September 1st. And here to speak to us about that is Brad Marra. He is the Assistant Vice President of Greenwood Communities and Resorts and on the Board of Trustees of the Celebrity Golf Tournament. Brad, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Talk a little bit about Greenwood and Palmetto Dunes' commitment to the tournament.
Greenwood has a strong commitment to the tournament. They've got a lot invested on Hilton Head Island. The greatest thing about this tournament is that all the charity goes to local charities in our area, and with Greenwood, with all their properties on Hilton Head and all they've done for the town of Hilton Head, it's really special to us, and I think we'll be committed for a long time in the future.
Brad, this tournament has a long history of being on Hilton Head. Has it always been at Palmetto Dunes, and which courses have you guys been able to showcase?
It has. We've had it at Palmetto Dunes since the beginning. We've had it at the Robert Trent Jones course and the Arthur Hills golf course. We've thought about having it at the George Fazio golf course here in the future, but with it being Hilton Head and Ocean, we always feel that bringing the Robert Trent Jones oceanfront golf course into the mix is probably the best for the tournament.
So when we look at the tournament going on at the RTJ course there at Palmetto Dunes, what's the course setup going to be? Because obviously we have pretty much a great variety in the amateur play. Where are we going with the course?
We actually try and set it up pretty easy. With these type of tournaments, you want to keep the pace of play quick, and the lower the scores, the happier people are. So
that's always the case.
Yeah, and our general manager Nathan Krellis does a great job facilitating the tournament, and our superintendent Grant Backus and assistant superintendent Leo Orsonio do a great job getting the course in great condition. We just aerified a couple weeks ago, and by tournament time, the course is pristine.
You got a lot of celebrities, you got a lot of people having fun. It's a perfect recipe for some really memorable moments. Can you tell us about some maybe in the past that really stand out and that the viewers at home would like to hear about?
Yeah,
of course, the G-rated kind.
Yeah. Actually, I'm a huge sports fan. I was able to play with Ozzie Smith a couple years ago, and just hearing stories about his relationship with Tony La Russa and spending 5 hours on a golf course with him was just what a fantastic day that was. I also was able to play with Sterling Sharp one year. I'm a big football fan, Green Bay Packer, so that was a great day. But one of my best experiences was with celebrity chef Bo McMillan. The guy's got a personality that will light up a room, and just being around him for the day, I got a smile on my face right now just thinking about that day. So all the celebrities we have are really great people, and it's just a great time just hanging out with them.
Now, being on the board of trustees for the tournament, can you give us an idea kind of throughout the year what your role takes on and some of the things you have to do or accomplish to get ready for the event?
Yeah, we have monthly meetings throughout the year, and as a team, we just try and do everything we can to pull off a great event. And Eddie Andrews and Paul Smith and other board members really do a great job pulling everything together. And we don't expect anything but another stellar year this year.
Now, let's talk about the public. Obviously, we have celebrities here for the reason that everybody wants to see them. So how can the public gain access to the tournament? What are the steps they need to do to watch?
All they need to do is go to Palmetto Dunes, Wexford, or Sea Pines, tell them they're going down to the tournament, and you'll see spectators all over the golf course, and you'll actually see property owners having get-togethers at their houses and stuff. So it's just a really big community event, and a lot of people get involved.
So we're very excited with that. Well, Brad, Marra, thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to that weekend.
All right, thank you.
When we come back, we're going to talk with Tournament Chairman Paul Smith right after this. You're watching Golf Center here on WHHI Sports. Welcome back to Golf Center. We're very pleased in this segment to be joined by Paul Smith, the Tournament Chairman for the Hilton Head Island Celebrity Golf Weekend. Paul, thank you very much for being with us.
Well, thanks for having me.
Let's talk a little bit about the tournament. Let's get right into the itinerary for the week. What is going to happen that week?
Well, we start off on Thursday. That's when most of the celebrities start arriving, and it's all day long. They get here beginning, some actually get here Wednesday night, but most of them arrive all day long Thursday. We have the little reception from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Westin Hotel for all the celebrities and the guests coming from out of town. Then we roll into golf Friday morning, tee off at 8:45 at Robert Trent Jones. Golf all day long. Sometimes it can be a long day of golf. we hope it's not. Try to keep it right there at 5 hours so we don't get any angry golfers.
We hear you.
But then we go, after the golf, we have a beautiful party, poolside and beachside, Friday night at the Westin. Entertainment. Get up Saturday morning, head over to Wexford Plantation. It's the first time we've ever played Wexford. We're all excited about it. As you guys know, it's a beautiful facility, beautiful golf course. I think some of the toughest greens in the area.
The complexes are very challenging, there's no doubt about it.
Roller coaster rides.
Roller coaster rides.
There you go. Especially number 15, 16, we won't get that detailed right now. Then we have a great party Saturday night at the Westin in the ballroom. There's about 450, 480 people that attend. We have an auction, silent and live auction, which is where we raise quite a bit of our money for the beneficiaries. And then we roll into golf on Sunday, which is Kids Day, McNair Law Firm Kids Day at Harbortown. Kids are invited to come out 1 to 3 p.m. We've got putting contests that Pete Popovich is going to help us with, some of the other local golfers. So it's a great weekend for celebrity golf.
Let's talk about the format now. There's each day they're playing. The first day, they're going to be playing what for a format, the teams?
They're going to play a shamble.
Shamble, and that's where everybody hits a tee ball. Whoever has the best tee ball, everybody takes their ball to that point, and then they finish out the hole with their own ball from that point.
That's correct.
That's day one, so you get one score on each team per hole. Then the next day at Wexford, we're doing a what?
We're going to go back to a scramble format.
A little more user-friendly.
Little more user-friendly due to the nature of Wexford.
Very challenging.
A lot of people have never played that course, so we decided in the interest of time to go to the scramble format for Wexford.
And when we return to Harbor Town on Sunday, we're going to have...
We go back to the shamble. It's every man for themselves after the tee shot, and we go from there.
Let's talk about the AMs a little bit. I'm an AM. I want to play in the tournament. Can I do it?
Unfortunately, this year, no. We're sold out, which is a great news for us. We've got a waiting list right now of approximately 45 golfers.
That's healthy.
It's a good thing for us. It means a good year for us. A full field means a full fun weekend. So but next year, contact us early, go to our website, call the office, and get in on the fun.
How about for the social events?
Social event, unfortunately, those are also sold out. We've got a waiting list for that. However, if you are interested in attending the evening functions, call the office, 842-7711, and we'll see what we can do to get you in. But there is a waiting list for those also.
Well, Paul Smith, we look forward to having you on again as we lead up to the tournament. Thank you so much for taking your time and being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
And we'd like to thank you for joining us here on Golf Center. For PGA professional Pete Popovich, I'm PGA professional Chris Tremblay. We'll see you next time right here on Golf Center.